Welcome back to your favorite non-Duel Links channel that talks about Duel Links occasionally, but is not a Duel Links channel. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video the camera is very blue for no apparent reason, but I don't know how to fix it and I don't care to learn how. Anyway, in today's video we are talking about the Synchro monsters in Duel Links, why they failed. I haven't been playing a ton of Duel Links. You can see I have unlocked 5D's World, and I have streamed like twice, and I do have UC to level 12. I have no other characters unlocked though. I think, I don't even know, like, yeah, I have no other characters unlocked, so I haven't really been playing a lot of the PvE. Just in general, I don't really find the PvE interesting in this game, but I've been playing a little bit. I've been playing a lot of a ladder. I mean, it's King of Games format, so it's a little different from like how the normal ladder is right now, but a lot of people are like trying like for fun decks and stuff. I guess I'm still on stage 1, I just realized that. Anyway though, Synchros have been added. They've been out for about a week now, and they're horrible. I mean, they straight up, they aren't being played in anything that I know of. They're just total flops, and in today's video I wanted to talk about why. There's a couple things you have to understand. One thing you have to understand that I think a lot of the Duel Links people are missing is that the TCG format, when Synchros were added, not only, I mean, there's a couple other issues, but it actually was more forgiving to slower strategies than the current Duel Links format. I mentioned this in my Duel Links analysis video that I did, which a couple weeks ago. I didn't say I was quitting that video, I just said I'd take a break, and I did. I didn't play this game for like 2 weeks. It was really nice, actually. I really enjoy the TCG format right now. But what you have to understand here is that, like, when cards like Stardust Dragon were released and all these good Synchro monsters, which is another issue with this game, is no good Synchro monsters, when it was released, the format was a lot more forgiving. You could like just summon Elemental Hero Stratos, set one back row, and like 50% of the time you wouldn't get OTK'd. In the equivalent for Duel Links, you actually definitely get OTK'd. I think the equivalent would be like just summoning Spellbook of Blue Boy, setting a Fate with not 3 cards engraved, just like 1 or 2 Spellbooks engraved, and then I think like half the time your opponent will probably just OTK you, especially if the Fate doesn't have the 3 Spellbooks engraved. And there's like a lot of stuff in that game. I think like a good example is like why the Mermail deck in this game failed, which obviously like I predicted to be very good. But one of the reasons that it failed was because if you went first, there were no good plays, right? You could like set a monster and pass. The best play was like summon Pike and then like not discard anything because there was no value from discarding anything because there's no Dragoons in this game. But this is like a lot of decks in this game are too slow, and I think the Duel Links format is actually less forgiving than the current TCG format. The TCG format, I feel like if I brick, I usually have like a turn or two to like gain my cards and hopefully get my engine going. In this game, if you brick, I mean, you're just dead. Half the decks in this game just OTK you if you have any form of brick. So that's worth mentioning. It's also worth mentioning that the Synchros that were added in the first set of Duelist Alliance, not Duelist Alliance, Duelist Genesis, were really good. I think in that, I've done a video talking about Synchros, but of the first like 7 to 9 Synchro monsters, every single one of them was played competitively at one point in that first set. It's just crazy to think about, like that first Duelist Genesis, like, oh my gosh, the set was... It was so good. Like, the quality of those cards was so insane. Like, all the Synchros were played. Really good stuff. Even of the first starter deck, Colossal Fighter saw play, the Gaia Force guy saw play, Junk Warrior saw some play. In this game, man, these cards suck. Stardust is okay. It's probably too slow. Like, all these cards are just too slow. All these ones suck. Hunlei is really good. Too bad they didn't add any good level 2 X-Saber tuners. I don't think they add any, because what is, like, this guy? He's level 1. Or he's not even a tuner. So the problem is like, Hunlei is really cool. I have no idea how you're summoning it. The main way that you usually used to summon this thing was summon Bogart Knight and summon Paschal, and then you made Hunlei. There's no Paschal in this game, so you can't do that. The only way to make this thing is with 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner X-Air monsters, so it's like you have to have this guy on like a random level 2 tuner. I guess the way they're encouraging you to make it, because they want you to buy Ultra Rares, is by summoning Dark Soul and then summoning Full Helm Knight. But what realm... Both situations, right, where you set Dark Soul and pass, or where you summon Full Helm Knight and pass when you go first, in both those situations, you're just getting OTK'd by vampires, you're getting OTK'd by UA, you're getting OTK'd by even Fur Hires, because this thing doesn't have any monster protection. So this is just really, like, yeah, these cards are good, and yeah, this card's good, and yeah, this card's good, but it doesn't have the backbone that X-Sabers had. There's no Fall Troll, there's no Paschal, there's none of those cards. There's no Emmer's Blade would make this deck a lot better in this game, because you could actually start your turn with an X-Saber on the board, but the Duel Links metagame is too fast for these types of cards, and I don't know why Konami didn't realize that. And then, like, the other, so there's bad Synchros, right? We've kind of already covered that. We got Azurize Dragon. It's good. It's impractical in this game, though. There's no real way to summon this without going like -4, which doesn't even matter. This card's bad. This card's bad. All of the... I can't believe they added Gen X. Like, that's ridiculous. Soza's like nothing. It's basically a normal monster. So you have all these bad Synchros, right? So then it's like... When you think about Duelist Genesis, how they balance Synchro monsters, I don't know if everyone knows this, how they balanced them was making really powerful Synchro monsters with not so powerful tuner monsters. Like, you had Krebins and you had Psychic Commander as your main tuner monsters, and those are good because you can summon them with E-Tele, but they're not like actually good. You wouldn't just play them if they weren't tuner. The approach they took in Duel Links was they added bad Synchro monsters, and then they also added bad tuner monsters. So the tuners in this game, not very good. Fulham Knight, good standalone card, not good in Duel Links. And then like the other stuff, I mean, like some of this, it just blows my mind. Like these horrible Gusto tuners. I've seen tons of people playing tuned Magician. That's how warped the Duel Links perspective on what a tuner should be is. Like in King of Games, tons of people are experimenting with tuned Magician. That blows my mind. Then you have these really horrible Blue Eyes tuners. I have no idea why they didn't add Maiden with Eyes of Blue to this game. I don't think it would be overpowered. I think it'd be perfectly fine. And then you have Gen X Controller, which is Undyne in a controller is cool, but like what deck's gonna play that? You're not gonna play it in Mermills because Mermills are a bad deck. And like Neutron's cool. This card saw a ton of play in the TCG. Guess what? It's too slow for Duel Links. So you have this issue where there's all bad Synchros except for Stardust, kind of, and then there's all bad tuners. Oh, and then every other deck, all the meta decks right now have no space for tuners. If you think of anything out there, like Vampires, if they added some zombie tuners, that'd be cool. But like the Vampire deck, the For Hire deck, the Spellbook deck, can we count that as meta? Amazoness, none of these decks want to waste normal summons on tuner monsters, especially considering how susceptible Synchro summoning as a mechanic is to Treacherous Trap Hole, which is the most common card in the metagame. I will say right now the best tuner monster... Oh, I should mention real quick before we leave this. There actually is a starter deck, which is a joke. Synchro Connection. What is this stuff? Like, why is there Junk Warrior in here, but the only way to play Junk Synchron is with a Yusei skill? I think they very easily could have just added Junk Synchron to the game without requiring you to play a skill. Like, why would you ever choose to play Junk Synchron as a skill, making your deck a 22 card deck when you could just play Cyber Style and win the game? It's just crazy, but all these cards are so bad. The Junk Forward's actually like one of the best cards of this new release. But it's like, yeah, let me throw Toon Warrior into my deck. Like, what do you think people are gonna do with this? Like, Shape Sister's like one of the best tuner monsters. What world are we in? And the only reason this is a good tuner monster is because it doesn't take your normal summon, and that's just like crazy. But one of the things I want to say is that the best tuner monster in this game that I don't think people have realized because it's gonna take forever to unlock. Well, I guess it doesn't take that long if you just grind. The best tuner is all the way at level 30 for Yusei. Unknown Synchron. This card's actually good. This card should have been released as an ultra rare in the set. I have no idea why it's not. I know they want people to play. This is the best tuner. The only reason this is the best tuner is because it doesn't require your normal summon, and that seems like every single other tuner in this game requires your normal summon. I think once people start unlocking this thing, that we'll actually see some play, so that's kind of interesting. But I mean, like, I've been playing like that Spellbook tricky deck with Junk Synchron skill. It's not better than normal Spellbooks. Like, it's not. It's just a more inconsistent version that aims to summon Stardust Dragon just because it's fun, but it's not competitive. Overall, this whole release was just a flop. I think in general that the mini boxes seem to be where Konami really kicks things up as far as power level. Hopefully the Synchros in the next mini box are going to be really good. They didn't seem like they would do this, but if you go to the shop, there wasn't a mini box after the last main box. There's actually actually a blank spot right here. I thought this was going to be the Synchro release, in which case the Synchros were going to be good because it's a mini box, but because it's a main set, they made them all bad. I'm just really disappointed with it. I think that this is a huge missed opportunity because so many people got back into the game and then like they want to play these new Synchros, and I think the idea of having this Yusei skill where you get to have a Stardust Dragon and Junk Synchron for free is really cool, but also just let us play the cards normally for people that don't want to play this garbage skill. It's cool because like it gives players that don't have access to these cards, like it gives them the chance to play with them right away, but in terms of competitive validity, not so strong. So yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts on Synchros. I do want to say, because I don't think it's fair to like criticize Konami unless you have a suggestion. I actually do have a suggestion. So if let me close this. So my suggestion, right? This is perfect. Add Alien Ammonite, is that how you pronounce it, Ammonite, to the game. Add this card to the game, and you add Cosmic Fortress Gold Guard to the game. This is perfect. It's so good. Aliens are already in the game. They're already a super budget-friendly deck. Just add these cards to the game. These cards are awesome. This card, perfect tuner monsters. Everything I wanted to do. It works with the archetype. It works with an existing archetype. You don't have to introduce something new. That's great. This card's really cool. 2 cards that never really saw play in the TCG. Yes, I saw experimentation, but they never really got played. Make them good in Duel Links. Make Aliens the best deck. I don't care. Just make Synchros good. Just add good Synchros, add good tuners. You have to have one or the other. Do you guys like see what I'm saying here? You can have bad tuners and good Synchros, or you can have good Synchros and bad tuners. But if you have both of them, yeah, of course no one's gonna play either of those cards. Like, you can't have bad tuners and bad Synchros and then say, well, maybe people are just gonna be so excited about Synchros, they're just gonna play all these bad cards. That's not how competitive games work. So I'm really crossing my fingers that in the next mini box, Konami will add either these alien cards or just anything else. Like, give us the good Gusto monsters. Like, they're missing the best one, the Goldo guy, like the best Gusto monster. They're just not adding to the game. That just blows my mind. Like, why? This seemed like such a big and hyped release, and people have been waiting for this, I mean, for months. I think when I first started playing Duel Links, like 3 months ago, not 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago or 4 months ago, these leaks were just starting to come out, and it was something to look forward to. It's like, oh, this game's getting Synchro monsters. That's really cool. They finally get here, and the best card we have is a Stardust Dragon. When you summon your tuner monster, your non-tuner monster, your opponent just slips Treacherous Trap Hole, you lose. And even if you summon Stardust Dragon, you just lose to Amazoness Onslaught, so it doesn't even matter. So Konami, give us better tuners, give us better Synchros, one or the other, give us some cool cards to play with. I'd be happy to play some more Duel Links if they just give us fun cards. But as it stands right now, this Duel Links update is so lackluster that this isn't encouraging me to play the game, even with all the free tickets they're giving us, which, by the way, I just want to give a huge shout out. The ultra rare ticket thing is awesome. That is so cool. I wish they gave these away at, like, everything. Where even is mine? Here's mine. The ultra rare dream ticket. I don't know if they've ever given these out before. This is the best idea. I want to see this done more often. I think that this should be the reward for getting King of Games. I think it should even be the reward for like getting Legend. Just give the players ultra rares, especially because they put Sound Edition here, so players that are free to play can play this deck. I think it's so cool. It's such an awesome idea. They should just do this more often, like once a season. If you get to Legend or King of Games, you get an ultra rare dream ticket. That'd be sweet. Anyway though, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Synchros. I think most people know that they're pretty bad, but I'm excited for them. I have high hopes for the next mini box. Hopefully it'll get me back into this game. I want to play more Duel Links, and just the format is literally the same it was before Synchros were added, and it feels like the change should have been more noticeable. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.